So listen guys, we are currently in a very weird situation that most of us probably have never been into. And I don't know about your specific country, but right here in Bulgaria, we're not allowed to leave the house. We are in complete lockdown and we are under quarantine. So we have to stay at home unless it's an emergency or we need to go to the supermarket to get some groceries and everything. But for the most part, we are stuck at home. And personally for me, that's not a huge deal as I love staying at home. Usually I also do a lot of work from home, so it's not a huge change in my lifestyle, but I see a lot of people really struggling with this situation. And I want to share 5 tips on things that you can do to help yourself out if you're a drone guy in a situation like this. And those 5 things will not only help you pass the time easily and more enjoyably, but hopefully they will also help you in the long run. So when everything is done and it's behind us and we can get back to our regular lifestyle, you are not going to feel that you have wasted all of your time, and hopefully you'll feel like you have actually accomplished something better. Recently I started working on my own personal website, so in case I get in contact with a local company and I want to work with them, I have like a portfolio website to show my work. I don't want to just use my YouTube channel and Instagram profile. It's not really professional, so I invested a lot of my time into making a website for my portfolio. And it's something that I've been considering doing for a very long time, but I never had the time for it. So now that I have all this free time, I can actually finish this website and get it all set up and done and just wait for everything to pass so I can put it online and start using it. But that's just me. This is very individual, so this is not ideal for everyone. So my 5 tips that I have in today's video will apply to pretty much everyone who has a drone. So let's start with tip number 1. The first thing which I would advise you to do is to be completely honest with yourself and find those things that you know you're not good at. When it comes to flying a drone, there's so many different aspects and so many skills that you actually have to develop if you want your videos or photos to look great. So consider, if you're not good at color grading, then find a really good tutorial on color grading. Learn everything there is to know about how to color grade the proper way and find a style that you really like and try to implement it in your footage. Maybe you're not so good at smooth maneuvers or smooth movements in your footage. Your movements are quite choppy and it doesn't just look very good. Then find a tutorial on those movements, how to make them smooth. Find the best settings for your drone and make your footage as smooth and nice looking as possible. So find a good tutorial or 2 or 3 or 5. See how other creators do what you're lacking and see how you can improve your skills in that specific aspect. My next tip is to organize your footage, and this is extremely important. It's not a very fun thing to do, but it's going to save you so much time and it's very convenient in case you're looking for something. If you're not organizing your footage, you're just going to waste so much time looking for something. So what I like to do is to create general folders for all the different cameras which I have used, such as Mavic 2 Pro, Sony a7 III, GoPro Hero 7 Black, etc. So I make general folders, and when you go inside these folders, I make subfolders with the dates and the locations of the things that I have shot. So if I'm looking for something, I can search for the date, if I remember the date, or I can search for the place, and I can find this folder very easily. When I enter this folder, I am going to find 2 separate folders for photos and videos. Inside the videos, I also have 2 separate folders, one for regular clips and one for B-roll shots. I know it could sound a bit crazy, maybe it's just my OCD, but I just love organizing everything into separate folders, and that way if I need something, I just find it straight away. I know exactly where it is, and that makes it a whole lot easier for me to navigate through all of my footage. And if you shoot a lot, you know how completely insane it gets at one point, and I think it's a great idea to start organizing your footage as soon as possible. Speaking of old footage, I think it's a great idea to revisit your old footage and especially your favorite photos and edit them once again. This might sound a bit weird, but as you develop as a creator, you learn so many new things, new techniques, and your edit is not going to be the same. You will be able to edit your photo in a very different way, I'm sure. And as long as you have learned something new and you try to apply it, your final result will look very different. And that's something which I like to do when I'm looking for something to post on Instagram. I don't have any new photos. Sometimes I get back to my old ones, I edit them once again with my new eyes, and then I get a completely new result. So I think it's an interesting game to play sometimes when you have this old footage, your old photos, they are just sitting there and you can just get back to them, see them in a new light, and see what you can come up with. My tip number four is to plan your next filming locations. And personally, I've been working on that list of mine for my next video locations for the past couple of months. I always try to find something new, interesting to film. And if I find something that I like, I just put it in my notes. I find the location, I find some photos of it, and I plan content that I can do around this specific location. So when the right time comes, you will not struggle about where should I go and film. You will have a list of places where you can go to and start filming right away. Something which I like to do that helps me a lot when creating this list is to follow drone pilots from my country, and I love seeing what places they visit, what type of photos they get, and just make a little mind map of these places that I want to visit as well, and see what type of content I can create over there. There's so many places around me, they're close to my city, that I didn't know about. So if it wasn't for these creators that I follow on Instagram, I would have never known about them. So I think it's a good idea to find people who are good at what they do, see where they go, maybe connect with them, talk to them, and remember these places, write them down, and once the opportunity arises, just go there and film there yourself. And the final tip which I have for you today is, if you really want to fly and it's not possible to go outside and do it, maybe you can buy a tiny whoop or something else that is small enough that you can fly inside the house. Or if not, you can always just buy a simulator, start flying on a simulator, and just get some flight time with the sticks at home. Personally, I'm just not such a huge fan of flying at home. If I really want to fly, I would prefer to fire up my simulator and practice there and fly the way I want to fly. But I know many people have different tastes, so someone could be really intrigued by the idea of flying a drone at their house. So maybe do that. Just find something that is fun for you. Maybe introduce flying a drone to your wife, to your girlfriend, teach them how to do that, or play with your dog, whatever. Just find a way to have some fun. But that's pretty much it, guys. These are my 5 tips on things to do as a drone guy during the quarantine. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, like squad, show yourself, and blow up that like button. Subscribe for more videos like this one. This is Mike from Drone Supremacy. Hope you guys are staying healthy and safe, and I'll see you very, very soon. Ciao.